selfish. That's selfish. Sorry. You told me you had food poisoning.
She wouldn't do it.
That's okay. That's what happens, you know? She gets food poisoning. I get it. She has food poisoning. Yell at me when I'm passing you the ball, and then you run in all excited to shoot a layup and you couldn't even catch my pass.
I did catch it.
Barely. Like, the ref would have hit one of these. 6'7". You know that call? They're like, hey, I don't know. Let's see what they hit.
Professional sports is not a friendly game. It's a brutal zero-sum war where power is seized, not shared. For the last year, a vocal group of veteran players in the WNBA has tried to stage a hostile takeover of the league's exploding revenue. They demanded 50% of gross income, guaranteed multi-million max contracts, free luxury housing, and threatened to torch the entire 2026 season if billionaire owners didn't surrender. Their whole plan rested on one massive delusion, that the millions of new fans flooding women's basketball were loyal to the union, not the star who brought them. Now, with the March 10th deadline just hours away, no final deal, frantic proposals exchanged over the weekend, but no handshake, the most powerful force in the sport isn't at the negotiating table. She's not on Zoom fighting over percentages. She's on a Miami practice court, dismantling the union's leverage with every shot, every smile, and every viral moment she creates without saying a word about the drama. Caitlin Clark is delivering the most ruthless, silent corporate checkmate in sports history, and the veteran establishment can't stop her. Listen to the raw truth coming from the fans themselves. The internet is flooded with Team USA Day 2 footage, not because of sudden love for international qualifiers, but because USA Basketball and TNT understand the attention economy perfectly. They are pumping out high-definition content of Caitlin Clark because she is the undisputed engine driving billions in value. TNT gambled big on the veteran-led, unrivaled 3-on-3 league, hoping to ride the women's basketball wave without her. It crashed hard. Ratings tanked, arenas stayed empty, and key players like Aaliyah Boston suffered serious injuries in pointless games. So TNT did what smart corporations do. They cut losses and pivoted hard. They bought the FIBA World Cup qualifier broadcast rights specifically to lock in Caitlin Clark. While networks build a global event around her, the WNBPA is trying to lock her out of her own domestic league. That's the fatal disconnect ripping the WNBA apart. The militant union leaders want the media cycle filled with their grievances, portraying themselves as oppressed workers battling greedy billionaires. But fans are rejecting that narrative completely. Nobody wants endless CBA talk. Nobody wants veteran complaints. People want basketball. Pure, high-level hoops from the best offensive talent alive. The consumer market is screaming, "Give us the game, not the drama." By staying silent on the labor fight, Caitlin Clark has isolated the radical wing of the union. She's not leaking letters, not whining on podcasts about rent while earning millions in endorsements. She's showing up, smiling, competing at the highest level, and putting on a show the world can't ignore. That makes the union leadership look like a disorganized mob scrapping over crumbs, while the real gold mine stands right in front of them. The psychological damage is even deeper when you look at the timing and the people involved. Day 2 footage shows Kelsey Plum, first vice president of the WNBPA, laughing and bantering with Caitlin Clark. Jokes about food poisoning, missed passes, selfish calls, lighthearted, viral moments. But this is no small thing. Plum is the same executive who recently leaked a scathing letter exposing her own union's leadership failures, lack of transparency, poor communication, steering the group toward disaster. She's not standing in lockstep with the strike hardliners. She's on the court with Clark, creating positive, marketable content just hours before the deadline. This is a public fracture. Rational, business-savvy stars like Plum and Breanna Stewart see the reality. Their future paydays depend on Clark generating the revenue to fund them. By aligning with her on the global stage, they are signaling to owners, the extreme faction doesn't speak for us. Sign the deal, take the historic raises and let's play. The militant holdouts, driven by resentment of Clark's dominance, are now isolated. They've lost public support. They've lost network backing. They're losing their own vice presidents. The union thought a lockout was their ultimate weapon. They believed withholding talent would force owners to bleed money and cave. But owners have infinite capital, subsidizing WNBA losses for 25 years without flinching. If 2026 is delayed or canceled, they lock the doors, stop salaries, write off the hit, and shift focus to NBA playoffs. For players, it's devastation. Over 80% are unemployed right now, waiting on contracts. A lockout means lost paychecks, dropped health insurance, mortgage defaults, financial ruin in months. For Caitlin Clark, zero impact. She pivots to FIBA qualifiers on TNT starting tomorrow. Global high-stakes games, massive ratings, 8-figure endorsement checks from Nike, Gatorade, Wilson rolling in. She has a lucrative alternative. The WNBA doesn't. Veterans tried everything to break her. Flagrant fouls, media diminishing, fan base investigations, now holding the CBA hostage. It failed. She flowed around them, stepped onto the world stage, and reminded everyone who actually generates the billions flooding women's basketball. As the March 10th clock runs out, no term sheet yet, just back and forth, the owners aren't staring at impossible demands. They're watching Team USA footage, Caitlin and Plum draining shots, laughing, creating positive impressions worldwide. Rational players want to play, fans want to watch, networks want to broadcast. Owners will deliver a final take-it-or-leave-it offer, accept the massive pay raises, or face unemployment, while Caitlin takes her economy global, permanently. The illusion of veteran unity is shattered. The free market is spoken. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Is Caitlin Clark deliberately ignoring the drama to prove she holds all the cards? Are the hardliners arrogant enough to force a lockout and destroy their own futures out of resentment? How damaging is it when their own vice president is thriving alongside Clark on Team USA? Let me know below. If you want the raw, unfiltered truth about the cutthroat business of sports, the leverage wars, boardroom power plays, and stories mainstream media won't touch, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this video.